In the USA, breaths were held for today's midterm elections. Recent opinion polls show Democrats will lose a majority in the House of Representatives, while the race in the Senate is close to head. The Democrats losing a majority in at least one House of Congress means that President Biden can no longer pass the laws he wants through Congress. That's why Biden and Trump had a campaign duel on the last day. Hello dear followers. Today we are with you with a new video. Welcome to our channel. Thank you for watching our channel. The Biden administration, which has had a majority in both the House of Representatives and the Senate for the last 2 years, is afraid of losing this advantage in today's midterm elections. The fact that voters turn to Republicans in the USA, which has had difficult times in the economy due to both the epidemic and the war in Ukraine, worries the Biden administration. For this reason, yesterday, President Joe Biden tried to win the voters by continuing his campaign work until the last minute in New York, and his most important rival and predecessor, Donald Trump, in Florida. However, the pre-election trend seems to be in favor of the Republicans. Nearly 40 million voters have already cast their ballots for today's midterm elections. Recent opinion polls show that Democrats will lose a majority in the House of Representatives, while the race in the Senate is close to head. The fact that Democrats, who have a majority in both the House and Senate, have lost a majority in at least one House of Congress means that President Biden can no longer pass the laws he wants. The results of the Senate election, especially in Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Nevada, will be decisive. The Republican Party's Senate candidate from Pennsylvania, the famous doctor and television programmer Mehmet Oz. President Biden, at his rally in New York, described the midterm elections as a turning point that will determine the course of the next 20 years in the United States. Biden said Americans will choose between two very different visions at the ballot box tomorrow. Former President Trump, at his rally in Miami, accused Democrats of dragging the country into communism. The Democrats want to turn the country into communist Cuba or socialist Venezuela, Trump said. Stating that he may run for president again in 2024, Trump gave his supporters a "stay tuned" message. In this by-election, all members of the House of Representatives and 1/3 of the members of the Senate will be determined. Elections for governors and local officials will also be held in some major states. Congress intermediate elections in 5 questions. What are by-elections and who are elected? In these elections, members of the lower and upper houses of Congress, the House of Representatives and the Senate are elected. These elections are held every 2 years, and when they fall in the middle of the president's 4-year term, they are called by-elections. Who can win? Polls show that Republicans can win the House of Representatives, while the Democratic Party will continue to dominate in the Senate. A head-to-head race is envisioned in just 30 seats. The suburbs of Pennsylvania, California, Ohio, and North Carolina will be decisive. What are the big issues before the election? At the beginning of 2022, the biggest issues seem to be immigration, crime, and the cost of living. These are all issues that get conservative Republicans' votes. That changed with the U.S. Supreme Court's abortion decision, which benefited Democrats who supported women's right to abortion. The main theme in the campaigns of many Democratic candidates has been the right to abortion. What impact will the results have? By-elections often reflect the public's position on the president's 2-year performance, and the party in the White House often loses seats. This is a cause for concern for President Biden, whose voter approval rating has been below 50% since last August. Republicans may also be in a position to control investigative committees. They could launch new investigations, such as Biden's son's business dealings in China. The Republican dominance could wreak havoc on Biden's foreign policy, especially in helping Ukraine, which is fighting the Russian occupation. What will be the impact of the midterm elections on the 2024 presidential elections? If the candidates Trump supports perform poorly, it will be harder for him to get support from the Republican Party for the presidential nomination. If Republican governors Ron DeSantis and Greg Abbott win re-election in Florida and Texas, the White House may have a chance. Mehmet Oz, Trump's return ticket. The Republican Party's Senate candidate from Pennsylvania, the famous doctor and television programmer Mehmet Oz, met with the voters in Bethlehem, Northampton region. At the event attended by more than 1,000 people, Oz supporters showed their support for the Republican candidate with banners, "He will bring balance in Washington," in their hands. Pennsylvania is the most important state to bring Republicans a majority in the Senate, and Trump's re-election for president also depends on his success here. Turks in Pennsylvania expressed that they are proud that one of the senator candidates of the state they live in is Turkish and they want Mehmet Oz to win. Thank you for following and watching our channel. Don't forget to subscribe and share. Hope to see you in our next broadcast. Goodbye.